I remember telling our manager at the time as well, hey, I think I'm dealing with some depression. And he wanted me to see the brighter side of things. No, y'all are about to go on tour. Y'all got Barbie dolls. What are you talking about? Y'all just signed a crazy big deal with Columbia. I could see myself in a pit trying to get out, just feeling so heavy that when I would make one step, the weight would just pull me back down.
Michelle Williams' journey in Destiny's Child was far from the glittering spotlight Beyoncé and Kelly enjoyed. What she endured behind the scenes may shock you. Even as Destiny's Child soared to the top, Michelle felt trapped in a heavy pit of depression. She confided in her manager, only to be told to focus on the brighter side: the tours, the dolls, the record deal. But inside, every step forward felt like an overwhelming weight pulling her back down. The pressure to stay positive was crushing. Michelle's internal struggles despite success. Even as Destiny's Child soared to the top, Michelle Williams felt trapped in a heavy pit of depression. She told her manager she was struggling, but was told to focus on the blessings: the tour, the dolls, the record deal. The pressure to stay positive clashed with her internal battle. Michelle described feeling so heavy that each step forward felt like the weight was pulling her back down. This internal struggle was invisible to fans, but very real for her. Despite the fame and fortune, Michelle felt isolated and overwhelmed. Attempts to express her feelings were often dismissed, with managers telling her she had nothing to be sad about because of the group's success. This lack of understanding added to her pain, making her feel unseen despite being in the spotlight. The contrast between public perception and her private fight created a lonely experience. It's a stark reminder that success doesn't guarantee happiness. For Michelle, the pressure to perform and maintain a positive image masked the emotional toll she was enduring behind the scenes. This burden, combined with continuous criticism and feeling like the least favored member, deepened her sense of despair. Yet, she kept going, showing incredible strength in the face of such adversity. Her story shines a light on the often hidden mental health struggles many face, even when living what seems like a dream life. The burden of being the underdog in Destiny's Child. Michelle was never the group's favorite. Fans and even management viewed her as the least talented, kept in the shadows while Beyoncé and Kelly basked in the spotlight. The constant criticism and expectations to simply fit in took a toll on her confidence. Yet Michelle's story goes deeper than the group's dynamics. From the start, she struggled to gain recognition. Despite being part of a world-famous group, she often felt invisible. The spotlight shone brightest on Beyoncé and Kelly. While Michelle was left to play a supporting role, she was expected to accept this quietly. Always told how lucky she was to even have a spot in the group, management would remind her there were thousands competing for her place, adding pressure to stay in line. The public perception was harsh as well. Many fans and critics dismissed her vocal abilities, labeling her as the least skilled member. Social media and fan pages often mocked her performances, while Beyoncé and Kelly received praise and admiration. This disparity created a heavy emotional burden. Michelle opened up about feeling isolated and insecure. She admitted to struggling with the constant comparisons and the overwhelming pressure to prove herself. Even within the group, it felt like she was fighting an uphill battle to be taken seriously. Yet through all this, Michelle remained committed and professional. She showed resilience by embracing her role and working harder to improve and contribute. However, the emotional impact of being viewed as the underdog lingered, affecting her mental health and self-esteem. Her story reveals the harsh realities behind fame and success. Where talent alone doesn't guarantee respect, it's also about perception, timing, and the roles people are forced to play. Michelle's experience as the underdog highlights a complex dynamic that many behind-the-scenes artists face. Always overshadowed, yet essential to the group's success, this burden shaped her journey and her unique place in Destiny's Child history. Michelle's musical roots and early career. Michelle Williams had a very strong musical background, and she started singing at church when she was just 7 years old. As she grew up, she continued to develop her tone, delivery, and technique based on what she picked up singing at church. When you listen to songs from Destiny's Child, it's really not hard to see the gospel influence is still going strong in the way that she delivers her vocals. Initially, Michelle didn't see music as something she wanted to do full-time. She enrolled in Louisiana State University to study criminal justice, but 2 years in, she decided that that wasn't for her, and she was going to try her hand at music instead. She started working in clubs, got to sing background for Monica, and it was during her stint with Monica that she was introduced to Destiny's Child. Talk about being in the right place at the right time. Taking Destiny's Child through turbulent lineup changes. Destiny's Child was no stranger to upheaval. Internal tensions bubbled beneath the surface, driven by creative clashes and disagreements over management. The original lineup featured Beyonce Knowles, Kelly Rowland, LaToya Luckett, and Latavia Robertson, names fans had come to cherish. Yet beneath the success lay deep fractures. LaToya and Latavia grew increasingly frustrated with manager Matthew Knowles, accusing him of hoarding a large share of the group's earnings and favoring Beyonce and Kelly. Feeling marginalized and unheard, both LaToya and Latavia decided to part ways, leaving a vacuum and plenty of uncertainty about the group's future. Into this storm walked Michelle Williams, a young singer with a gospel background, relatively unknown to the music world, and the loyal fanbase still attached to the original members. The transition was anything but smooth. Farrah Franklin also joined alongside Michelle, but her stint was brief, fading out after only 5 months and promotional sidelining. This solidified Destiny's Child as a trio once more, yet fans were still adjusting to the new dynamic. Michelle recalls that joining Destiny's Child was like hopping on a moving train. She had to learn fast and prove her worth quickly. Unlike Beyoncé and Kelly, she lacked the extensive media training and grooming they had undergone since childhood, making her adaptation even more challenging. Despite these hurdles, Michelle embraced the role of a team player, determined to help the group win no matter what. She developed a good working relationship with Beyoncé and Kelly, blossoming into a sisterhood that helped stabilize the group. This turbulent period taught Michelle resilience and patience, finding her place in a group grappling with its identity amidst lineup shifts and public scrutiny. The successful release of Independent Woman Part 1 and later the album Survivor marked a turning point, proving Destiny's Child could thrive as this new trio. Through it all, Michelle Williams was the quiet force bridging the gaps during one of the group's most fragile moments, solidifying her place in Destiny's Child history. Michelle's role as the bridge queen of the group. Michelle Williams was often seen as the quiet force behind Destiny's Child, yet her impact was unmistakable, especially when it came to singing bridges and ad-libs that transformed the songs into unforgettable hits. The bridge in a song is a small but powerful section that adds emotion and depth, and Michelle mastered this art like no other in the group. While Beyoncé and Kelly took center stage with lead vocals and dazzling performances, Michelle's voice was the glue that held the songs together. It was her subtle but soulful delivery in these moments that brought a unique flavor to each track, giving Destiny's Child a sound that was richer and more textured than just the sum of its parts. Many fans might overlook the importance of these parts, but anyone who listens closely knows Michelle's contributions made the difference between a good song and a great one. Her gospel roots shone through, lending a heartfelt sincerity to the music. Despite standing in the shadows of her more famous bandmates, Michelle embraced the role with grace and determination. She understood that making the bridge stand out was crucial to the group's overall success, and she owned it fully. This role earned her the nickname Bridge Queen among fans and insiders alike. But her talent went beyond just singing those parts, bringing warmth and emotion that elevated Destiny's Child's biggest hits. In a group famous for powerhouse vocals and star power, Michelle's specialty became her signature. Without her ability to deliver powerful bridges, many hits wouldn't have had the same emotional punch or cohesion. Her vocal work was the unsung yet essential piece that completed the Destiny's Child puzzle. In a career filled with ups and downs, being the bridge queen allowed Michelle to carve out a unique legacy, proving sometimes the most important parts are the ones that connect and bring everything together. Facing public scrutiny and relentless criticism, Michelle was criticized for her dancing, stage presence, and vocals. Incidents like an on-stage fall haunted her with relentless memes and mockery, while Beyoncé and Kelly were praised for perfection honed since childhood. This public scrutiny weighed heavily on her self-esteem. She opened up about how it took years for her to watch that moment again because people acted like she was the only human on the planet ever to fall. When Jennifer Lawrence falls on the red carpet, she's seen as more relatable now, but for Michelle, every week felt like someone was sending a meme or a joke at her expense. Meanwhile, Beyoncé and Kelly had been training in singing and dancing since they were kids, giving them a huge advantage on stage, while Michelle essentially walked into the success and had to catch up. Her dancing was often described as stiff, and although she gave her best, fans were quick to point out every mistake, consistently propping up the other two members. Standing next to Beyoncé and Kelly, Michelle seemed out of place and awkward at times, but she was still learning on the go, adjusting to intense public attention and criticism. The outfit changes and trying to fit the group's image were hard on her, as she wasn't used to all eyes being on her. Despite all this, Michelle stuck with the group and worked hard, but the relentless criticism definitely affected her mental health, with moments where she told her manager she needed time, but was brushed off and told she had nothing to be sad about. The contrast between her inner struggles and the public's perception made her journey much harder. Michelle's solo career and gospel triumphs. Breaking away from the shadow of the group, Michelle embraced gospel music full-time, building her own fan base. Her album, Journey to Freedom, featuring hits like Say Yes with Beyoncé and Kelly, brought her back into the limelight on her own terms. This gospel path not only expanded her fan base, but also showcased her resilience and true artistry. Michelle was the first of Destiny's Child members to go solo, and while her voice may not have been the lead in the group, it shone brilliantly in her gospel work. Journey to Freedom debuted at number 29 on the Billboard 200, a strong showing that proved her music resonated deeply. The song, Say Yes, became an anthem with support from her bandmates, reaffirming their united roots despite past tensions. Her commitment to gospel music created a unique space for Michelle to express herself authentically, connecting with audiences searching for inspiration and faith. While she never chased mainstream pop stardom like Beyoncé, Michelle carved out something equally impressive, proving success can come in many forms. She turned perceived limitations into strengths, embracing her style and voice with confidence. Over time, fans and critics began to realize her impact went beyond the group's typical narrative. Michelle's solo career is a testament to perseverance and staying true to oneself in the face of challenges. Her gospel triumphs remain a powerful chapter in her story, highlighting not just her talent but her heart. Reevaluating Michelle's legacy and the battle for recognition. Michelle Williams' journey with Destiny's Child was far from easy, but it's time we truly reevaluate her legacy and recognize the battle she fought for respect and acknowledgement. Joining a group already dominated by Beyoncé and Kelly was no small feat, especially when those two had been training since childhood. Michelle had to learn the harmonies, choreography, and the intricate chemistry of the group in just a few months, an overwhelming challenge for anyone. Despite this, she carved out her own unique space, becoming known as the Bridge Queen for the unforgettable song bridges and ad-libs she delivered. Yet, public opinion was harsh. Many fans and critics alike overlooked her talents, instead fixating on her stumbles and comparing her unfavorably to her bandmates. She was often seen as the least talented member, pushed to the background while Beyoncé and Kelly shined. In recent years, however, the narrative is shifting. New voices have emerged defending Michelle, applauding her resilience and unique contributions to the group's success. People are now realizing that her role was crucial and irreplaceable. It's clear you can't imagine a Destiny's Child tour without Michelle. Not just because of her vocals, but because of what she represents: perseverance, humility, and the strength to shine in the face of adversity. Michelle's story reminds us that success isn't always about stealing the spotlight, but about lifting the whole team and making the music unforgettable. She never backed down, even when subjected to relentless criticism. Now, she's finally receiving the props she's long deserved. Michelle Williams stands as an icon, not just the third member of Destiny's Child, but a testament to hard work and the power of carving your own path. Michelle Williams' story is a powerful reminder that success isn't always about the spotlight. Behind every iconic group, there are hidden struggles and unsung heroes. The bridge queen of Destiny's Child earned her place, even if it took years for the world to truly see it. Her journey shows us the strength it takes to stay resilient in the face of criticism, to keep pushing forward when the odds are stacked against you. Michelle didn't just join a group. She stepped into a legacy, learned complex skills on the fly, and created a space for herself in a world that wasn't always welcoming. Now, voices are rising to give Michelle the respect and recognition she always deserved. Her contributions, once overshadowed, are finally coming into focus. This isn't just a story about fame or talent. It's about endurance, humility, and the quiet power of being a team player. So, the next time you think of Destiny's Child, remember Michelle Williams, the voice behind those unforgettable bridges, the steadfast heart of the group, and the artist who proves that sometimes the greatest victories happen away from the spotlight.